Ladies and
Is this episode
gentlemen,
12?
boys and girls, welcome to episode 12 of Pissing in the Wind.
This might be episode 11.
Episode 11. And no, it's episode 12. Today's
I
episode
don't know.
12. Thanks
I
for
don't
tuning
keep
in,
track of
guys.
it.
Yeah, we have a guest today, too. Her name is Jennifer
We do.
Lopez. If you want to introduce
Yeah.
yourself, Jennifer.
And first Lopez.
Hey,
All right.
All right. Well,
Let's
she
get
knows
started, huh?
how to fill the silence. Yeah. What
I
are we gonna
got,
drink today?
yeah, I got a High Lie double IPA. It's from
Okay.
Cigar City Brewery, which is, again, a local brewery here in Tampa.
I got a micro brew today. Coors Light.
Yeah, nice.
I was actually gonna do a little bit of educational time and make a sake bomb,
Okay,
but I
let's do
didn't
it.
know how to set up the camera for it. So I'll just
Stand
tell
up.
you guys what I'm doing.
Stand up and do it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to yell, so turn up my volume.
Okay.
I have a kombucha
Jennifer Lopez has a kombucha, guava.
guava.
We're just gonna put some beer in this cup,
So he's putting beer in a cup. This is the first part of a sake bomb.
and then we have some sake
He's got the sake.
that we're gonna open up.
He's opening it up.
And guess what?
Very
We're gonna put it
meticulously.
in a cup.
He has a shot glass. He's pouring the sake in the shot glass.
One.
Okay, there he goes with 3, 2, 1. Drop it in.
Chug, 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 chug.
There we go. Sake bomb.
I'm an American. I'm a patriot. So I'm gonna go with some American history on this day, 1775. Patrick Henry, who was one of the guys in the American Revolution, gave his speech that said, "Give me liberty or give me death." On this day, what day? is it?
I'm
March
proud
23rd.
to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Yeah, we're not too worried about that Asian invasion.
That's there we go. I like that, dude. Cheers for America. Cheers for Patrick Henry. Give me liberty or give me death.
That's what I'm talking about. Phew.
All
While
right, I
I
got
drink,
it on this day. On this day in 1983, President Ronald Reagan announced the Strategic Defense Initiative, which is also known as Star Wars. And if you guys don't
Yeah.
know what the Star Wars was, it was basically our answer to like nuclear defense. So Reagan was like, let's shoot some shit up into space. Let's let it sit up there and wait, like satellites or also like soldiers, like up there with like hot air balloons, and
Dang.
like they can shoot down missiles that are coming towards America.
Imagine you're just
On
like a
this day,
soldier stationed in space for 40 years. You're just sitting there
yeah, yeah,
waiting.
yeah. You're on the moon, the base on the moon.
Yeah.
They just forgot about you. That's what happened. That's
There's
why we
like
haven't been
six
back
guys
because
up
they
there
feel so
still.
bad about leaving the soldiers up there that they don't want to go back and get them. They're like, oh, I don't know, we can't get you, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, it was a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen this stuff about those astronauts who've been stuck?
Yeah, they came back recently.
Yeah, but it wasn't it like 6 days they were supposed to be there and it turned into like months.
It-
It was like a week. They're supposed to be there.
yeah, they're supposed to be there for like about a week, which is
So
6
like
days.
about six
Turned in-
days.
It turned into 9 months officially.
Fucking
They just,
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, 9 months of pregnancy.
That's crazy. They could have had a baby up there.
Apparently, staying in space for prolonged amounts of time like that too, though, has like negative effects on your body. Like it's bad
Yeah.
for your joints, it's bad for like your bones, it's bad for
your
like
heart muscles.
yeah, your heart muscles, like different things like
Yeah,
that.
because there's like
There's
no
gravity.
gravity affecting any of those things like they do every day here.
Yeah, even muscle atrophy is a thing. Like you can get muscle atrophy in space if you're in space.
Yeah,
for
if
too
you're
long.
not using them,
Yeah, fucking crazy.
makes sense.
Well, good thing that the astronauts are back. We don't really believe that you were ever gone because space is fake. But
Yeah, it was underground, I'm sure.
yeah. You guys are in a big pool in the NASA facility. You never went to space.
I mean, speaking of space, on this day, the first photo of the moon was taken March 23rd, 1840 by a New Yorker named John William Draper.
I'm pretty sure
And
that guy wrote the music for Superman, and also the moon's fake.
Are you sure? No, that's John William Scott.
No, that's just John Williams.
Oh, John Williams. Who's John William Scott?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm just making shit up. Oh no, dude. What's that one that we all share a name and we all have the same name?
What the
John
fuck?
Jacob
Oh yeah.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
I thought you were talking about Judy from Avatar.
There is no war in Bossing Say.
Yeah.
So here, this is look at this is something I've been wanting to talk to you about. I've been putting it off, but I've been waiting until now to talk to you about it. Have you seen this fucking shit with the Pyramid of Giza?
What? No.
No. So
No.
get ready to pull some shit up right now. So
Yeah.
just recently, actually, I think that this discovery was actually technically made in like 2000 or 2022, something like that, 2022. But just recently, the study was published about it, and so what it was is there's like 14 columns or something like that underneath the one of the pyramids of Giza, and the columns themselves are like 40 meters in diameter, and then they go down like 650 meters down into the earth. And to kind of give you like an idea of how big that is, the pyramid that they're under, I think, is only like 250 meters, 180 meters, some shit like that. And these go down 160 meters or 660 meters.
Jeez.
The
Yeah,
the
let's
the
see.
the Burj Khalifa or whatever the fuck that building in Dubai is like 600 meters tall or
Yeah, the
500
biggest
meters
one,
tall.
the
Yeah, so
tallest
these
one.
these
Which,
pillars are
come
like
on,
basically
can we
that
not
size.
beat it?
Watch, pull it up right now.
All right,
Columns discovered under
I am
Pyramid
right
of Giza.
now. There's a vast underground city below Egypt's Giza pyramids. Scientists wild theory claims, but experts debunk it as fake news.
When was that?
Ooh, fake news.
Uh,
Fake
March 23rd,
news.
2025. That was just this. That was today.
today.
That was today.
Fake
That was
news.
a few hours ago.
Oh, so a few hours ago they debunked this whole thing. What
Yeah.
makes it fake news?
Let's see. Redefine the boundaries, all this kind of stuff. I want to see like pictures of what they're talking about. Oh yeah, look right here. Scientists said they located 5 small room-like structures inside the pyramid using SAR technology. Ooh, one structure contained a sarcophagus mistakenly thought to be Pharaoh's tomb. Where does it tell us that this is fake though? Sounds real to me.
8 large vertical
Yeah,
structures theorized to be wells or shafts are thought to extend over 6,500 feet
6,500
across
feet.
and 2,000 feet below the ground.
That's
It's
more than
really
one
just
mile
one
long.
structure.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. Some of the theories are that's like where they actually pulled a lot of those rocks from. So instead of traveling thousands and thousands of miles, those are like the quarries below where they actually pulled the rocks from.
Just dug a hole and used the material.
Yeah,
But if you go, that's the lidar or radar or whatever that fuck that is. That's
this
what it
one.
looks like,
Yeah.
and that's where they're thinking that the pillars are coming in from.
Oh my God. Everything always wants me to sign up for their shit.
Jesus, bro, what's up with your fucking internet?
Speaking of
I
Egypt,
don't know.
though, I just want to say some real facts.
All right, tell us some real facts,
So we
Crannifer.
just discovered a tomb just recently within 2025, which was a part of the 18th Egyptian dynasty, which included Pharaoh Tutankhamun, and that was just last month. So the last time we found a mummy was whew, a long time ago.
Pharaoh Titson coming. And a good crazy fucking side piece of knowledge also. If you want to know why there's so little zombies, you want to know why there's so little zombies in the world? You want to know why there's so little mummies in the world?
Because they all come to life.
Yeah, because they all come to life at night and then they leave the museum.
Because people would eat them back in the day.
Yeah, Europeans
What the
ate
fuck?
Europeans ate almost all the mummies in the world.
They
Why
thought it
would
was
you
like
eat?
a rich thing. Like they're like, hey, come to our party and I'll fucking
Let's
show
eat
you
this
a
like
mummy
super old dead body.
Yeah.
and we'll eat it.
Yeah,
That's
it was
crazy.
like for the that's apparently what they say is like a lot of the reason that we came up with like aromatics in cooking is because they were eating mummies. But anyways, can you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to let you close that fucking shareable page.
No,
Uh,
it's fine. It's
but could you
acting
find
all
anything
fucking
about that,
stupid
or
right
did
now.
you see anything that says why it's fake, or are we just
It,
fucking?
all it says is that the researchers at the University of Denver are saying that the claims were exaggerated and the technology is not advanced enough to create those kinds of images.
I mean, so I
So
guess
it
the
depends. How
images.
much do we trust the New York Post?
That problem is how much do we trust any of one crazy thing about Egyptology too that people should pay attention to is that like it's a weird thing in like the historical archaeologist community where like going against the actual like narrated norm is extremely frowned upon because people's entire careers are based upon like certain facts. And if these
Yeah.
facts are proven to be wrong or like misinterpreted, then they could lose their whole career. So that's like a big thing about like the pyramids and like anything with ancient Egypt is hard to believe because like the whole carbon dating thing, like when nobody wants to believe that the Sphinx is older than the pyramids because people's entire life work is based on the pyramids being X amount of age.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
and it
that was
says like
one thing I wanted to talk to you about.
skepticism and accusations that the study was a hoax arose when the project did not publish the information with any peer review from independent researchers. And then renowned archaeologist and Egypt's former Minister of Antiquities, Dr. Zahi
Fuck that guy.
Hawass
Fuck that guy.
promptly called the claims completely wrong and fake news.
I think that it's pretty well known that that guy's actually kind of like a shill. Like he like refuses to kind of make any kind of changes towards any of his beliefs.
Yeah, we're calling him out here.
Calling him out. If you guys are saying it's fake, I'm going to say it's real. I'm going to go with it. I'm going
Yeah,
to double down and say it's even more real because of how fake you're saying that it is.
yeah.
I mean, it only
It's
makes
kind of
sense.
like when they try to convince us that the moon is real. I'm doubling down with it's not.
Yeah, you're telling me that a giant wheel of cheese is just in space?
It's just sitting up there.
A huge wheel of cheese? Get the fuck out of here. One thing I think about a lot too, Dominic, do you know anything about this? Like, what happened to Egyptian civilization after the Jews left?
They eventually were taken by, I think,
The Moors?
Peru.
The Moors took over?
I mean, not Peru, Persia
So,
at
yeah.
one point, and then after
So
that, who
basically, just kind
knows?
of like a slow decline into where we are
It's
now.
nebulous. Yeah.
Because nobody ever talks about that.
I thought the Red
No.
Sea closed in on them.
No, that
Well,
was
yeah,
just
that,
Pharaoh's
that
army.
that happened too. Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
that was
wasn't
just
everyone who lived in all of Egypt.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Come
story was
on.
that they were trying to run across the Red Sea, and Moses parted it with his stick, and it all opened up. And then, as they were crossing, Pharaoh's army decided that they wanted to chase them in, and so
Yeah.
Moses was like, "Hurry up, guys, hurry up!" And then, as people came in, he closed the door on them, and the water
Yeah.
came and fucking rushed them all
Haven't
up.
you ever seen The Prince of Egypt?
Prince of Egypt, 10 out of 10 movie.
It's so good.
So we talked about the Pyramid of Giza, this thing. We debunked that apparently.
Yeah.
So we've also is everybody's apparently been seeing this whole the JFK thing came out, the
Yeah.
declassified documents from JFK.
Yeah, they
Do
did
you
that
know
shit.
how much do you know about that situation?
So what I know is that the um back of his head was blown out, but because of the angle of where that shooter was, it wouldn't have been able to come out there. It would have gone through either the side or the front instead. I know that they have come out and said that the shooter was in like just known to be a bad shot. And so the direction and the angle and just how far of that distance, he typically wouldn't have been able to make that shot. And then I saw another picture of some CIA files that were everything was redacted except for like one thing, and it said like, "Oh, and then his head did that thing." That was
Oh,
the
his head
only
just
thing.
does that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are the three main things. And then I've been seeing like things come up about it
yeah.
with more info, but I purposely haven't talked about them because I wanted to talk about it here.
Okay. Yeah, so that's basically the big thing is everybody thinks that the JFK assassination was first of all, it was an inside job.
Yeah,
Second of all,
always.
they think that yeah, there was more than one shooter there to make like there's like a like story that there could be have been a shooter like in the sewer, and then like what they say like on the grassy knoll, and then like the second shooter in the warehouse, and like all
Yeah,
sorts of different stuff. But just a little background story from what I understand happened, and we can always look into this a little bit more as we're talking about it. JFK, his family got rich because his dad, I don't remember if his dad was a lawyer, but his dad did something where
He was a politician.
he was a
yeah,
politician and he helped to with the mafia to
yeah.
basically
Not a politician. Did the United
He was
Nations.
like
but
he,
that's what it was. So JFK's father, his family kind of got rich helping the mafia, basically, organized crime in America. That's how his
Hmm.
family got rich. And then he became the president, but he was like kind of like a straight arrow. Like, yeah, he cheated on his wife a lot with Marilyn Monroe and like other women,
Yeah,
and he
but
like
who
wasn't
wouldn't?
like that. Yeah, whatever. He wasn't like
Yeah,
the best of the best, but he, in terms of like what he wanted to do with the country, he did want to move it forward in like a good place, and he really wanted to get it away from corrupt politicians and the corrupt side of like organized crime and move forward from there. And so that
pause
was
right
his whole
there.
thing. He was going to sign
Um,
like a bill or some shit like that. Hennifer, can you pull that up, please? Well,
So JFK's dad was the ambassador for the UK, and he was in like
so
money
not an
stuff too. He
American.
did a lot of financing.
but can you look up what bill JFK wanted to pass, or because that's what it was. It was like a bill that was supposed to, or maybe it wasn't a bill. What other things are there besides bills?
Laws.
Yeah, but it wasn't a law. It was something else.
Bills are
You think
bills.
I
Bills
know the
make
government?
laws, right? That's what fucking I don't
Yeah.
know, dude. We're stupid. We're a bunch of idiots here. I'm a moron. I'm a
Yeah, we
moron
don't
who
know. We don't
drinks
know
and
this
looks
shit.
things
Laws,
up.
I'm.
laws do
I'm
not make
just a
bills.
bill sitting on the Capitol.
I don't know.
But yeah, anyways, JFK. So
You
JFK
know
wanted
what?
to like pass a bill, and that was
Hmm.
the reason that they think that he got killed was because they didn't want to stop that. They didn't want to bring it to light. They didn't want any
Yeah,
of that to happen because then it would who's going to play the game anymore?
yeah.
So that's what it
I
was. Is
mean,
that's what people think. That's people why people think he got killed, and then the whole reason that people think there's other shooters is because the way that they're saying he got killed, they're saying he got shot in the back of the head.
yeah.
That's what they say. That's what the I think the official
That's
narrative
what
is.
like the official
He got
report
shot in
is.
the back of the head. But if
Correct.
you watch the assassination video itself, his head he goes back. He gets
Yeah.
shot and his head goes backwards like that. Like it literally
And
looks
it's
like
it's
somebody
it's
hit
it's
him.
clear that like there's an exit on the back of his head, meaning he
Yeah.
was shot from the front.
And his wife gets just blood like all over her too. Like she
Yeah.
gets blood sprayed on her because the back of his head fucking blows out. And then there's also reports of like after he was left, like after he got assassinated, and they took him to the morgue or whatever, and they did like
Yeah.
the a bit, what the fuck is it called, the coroner's report or whatever, where they fucking cut him
The
open.
autopsy.
The autopsy, thank you. Where they took him to the mortuary, they started to do the autopsy, and the whole reports from there are like weird and funky. Like the pictures of like what happened to him before he left, and then the pictures afterwards like don't match up. Like there's certain facial structures and like bone structure in
Oh,
the
okay.
in the cadaver that don't quite match like JFK's actual face,
Oh, so
and they
they
think
put
the
like a new
bodies were
body in there.
switched. Yeah,
Yeah.
but all sorts
Dang,
of
I
weird
didn't know
shit.
about that one. Yeah.
All sorts of weird shit. And it's strange that the papers that they released are like 8,000 pages, right?
Yeah. That's what I was seeing, and I was like, "Fuck it, dude. I'm not going through that."
Yeah. Me too. I was like, hey, let's look into this JFK thing. And then I pulled it up. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So
Look,
the
I read
biggest thing
7 books
was
a night, but I'm not reading 8,000 pages.
the biggest thing was the redacted, and then his head did that thing.
Yeah. I don't think that that's a real fucking.
Dude, I will send the picture right now. I will
Yeah.
find it.
I Photoshop all sorts of stuff all the time, right? Like that's my job. That's what I do.
Yeah, but I don't know about this
Photo,
one.
pull up a picture right now that I just photoshopped of fucking Dominic in the JFK car instead of JFK, and then we'll just say that it's real.
So technically, the last bill he signed was for mental patients. But from my understanding and research, there was a bill about 5 months before he passed to discuss basically the Bank of the United States to be out of business. And that was like a huge deal. He was
Because
trying
we're
to,
just printing our own money or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
yeah, it was about 5 months before he passed. But the last actual bill was just
Just
about
about, I
people in
mean,
the mental institutions.
who's to say it wasn't
Hey,
them?
dude, a broken clock's right twice a day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I
No.
don't think I
What?
did very. I don't think I did a bad job.
What? What are you saying? That's
But yeah,
nasty.
so I was a little bit right about the JFK thing. He was killed off because his dad wanted to be a criminal, and JFK wanted to stop being a criminal.
Yeah.
And the United States government is criminal.
But we've discussed that.
Yeah, we've discussed that before.
Yeah.
Speaking of so I liked the segment we did last episode of technology and things you should be paying attention to.
Yeah, I
So
think a
I've got
lot
a
of people liked it.
I think a lot of people liked it. So I've got a pretty good one. I don't know if you guys know a lot about this one. Have you ever heard of HARP before?
I've heard of it. I don't know a ton about it.
So HARP, it's HAARP. It stands for High Altitude Auroral Research Project. And
Okay.
basically what it is in layman's terms, it's uses antenna to shoot energy into the atmosphere to manipulate not just like weather, but like atmospheric phenomena. And
Yeah.
because they can shoot energy up into it, it can change certain things. But we'll get into that. And so to kind of understand like the way that HARP works, we should probably talk about where the technology comes from.
HARP is
So,
a scientific endeavor aimed at studying the properties and behavior of the ionosphere.
what the fuck is an endower? Do you mean endeavor?
And yeah, that's what meant to say. I thought I did say endeavor.
You said endower.
God,
No,
we let you
endeavor.
on
So
one time.
HARP is an endower.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but the government says that it's used to study the atmosphere and things like that, and changes in the atmosphere. But so, anyways, HARP. So the way that where the technology came from is everybody knows who Nikola Tesla is, right? You know who Nikola Tesla is.
Of course.
And a big thing with Tesla is what he wanted to do is he wanted to try to give people free energy because he said that electricity is produced all around us in the world because the world
Yeah.
resonates at a certain radio frequency that it's vibrating. The outside, the ionosphere, like we were just talking about, is an electromagnetic layer of the atmosphere. It's like 50 miles up and it goes up another 40, 30 miles, some shit like that.
Yeah.
And it has electromagnetic waves
The
up in it.
ionosphere,
Yeah, the ionosphere.
50 to 400 miles.
50, damn, 400. I didn't know it was that high.
Yeah.
I knew it was 50 miles up, but I didn't know it went 400 miles all the way up. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, roughly like 400 miles above the surface.
Damn, that's crazy. But yeah, that's where the energy is, guys. There's free energy up there, and it's basically what Nikola Tesla called that type of energy was the aether. We've spoken about that before.
Yeah.
We talked about that perpetual motion machine that was pulling energy from the aether. And so the way that Nikola Tesla wanted to do that was he had built what's it called? In 1901, Nikola Tesla built Warden Cliff, which is a massive tower used to harness energy from the Earth's from the Earth wirelessly, and it was from the Earth's ionosphere. And what that tower did was it found out like the vibration that the ionosphere is moving in, and it would shoot
Mhm.
radio waves in a specific wave of that same vibration. So that way, when it hit the ionosphere, it was like pushing you on a swing. It was like when I hit that specific wave, I just give it a little bit of a boost, and you go like a lot further.
Yeah.
And then it
That
comes
makes
back, and I
sense.
give it like a little bit of a boost, and it goes like a lot further.
Yeah.
And that's like how he was using it to generate free energy. And there was a millionaire who was fucking founding him. Hold on one second. What was the guy's name? It
Who was
was
founding Tesla
J.P. Morgan.
during all this?
What's up?
Like the guy who started the bank.
Yeah, J.P. Morgan. J.P.
Yeah.
Morgan was founding Nikola Tesla to run that machine to figure out the energy thing until he found out that Tesla wanted to give the world free energy. And then J.P. Morgan was like,
He
"What
was
the
like, "Yeah,
fuck,
nah,
dude?
nah,
If,
nah,
if
nah,
it's
nah, nah,
free,
nah."
like, why am I giving you millions and
Yeah.
millions of dollars to do it?" Yeah.
Yeah.
So J.P. Morgan pulled out, and that basically cut what Tesla was doing there. And so that was the end of that research. That was it. That was done. And then Tesla died in like 1943. Nikola Tesla died, and as soon
Yeah.
as he died, the government came in and like foreclosed on all of his research and like took all of his stuff.
Dang.
So that ionosphere thing, or whatever, the free energy machine was taken. That patent was taken by the U.S. government, and then it hadn't been seen again for a little while. Today's episode is brought to you by canned water. Canned water, just add water. Today's episode is brought to you by canned water. Canned water, just add water. Step 1, can. Step 2, water. Step 3, enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So where was I when we got cut off? What was I like?
We were talking about JFK.
So we were talking about how the government took all of Tesla's stuff.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. So I'll start over when Tesla died. So in 1943, Tesla died. And then as soon as he died, the government came in and they took all of his stuff. And then the
And
patent for like the energy machine and stuff we were talking about was like lost in with his
yeah,
stuff.
and it probably got added into like all those patents that we were talking about a couple weeks ago, like everything that they've stolen. Yeah,
It might have, it
yeah,
might have.
I'm sure.
I don't know when was that the patent initiative founded? Because I don't think it was in the 30s, was it, or in the 40s? Was it in like the 50s?
I don't remember
I think they
exactly.
did the patent thing. Maybe the patent thing was even like in the 80s. I don't remember, but
Oh,
no, I
maybe,
think it was in
yeah,
the 50s. I think it might have been in the 50s. We'll throw it up on here. Call back to fucking episode 9, I think. I don't really remember. We're not that far
yeah.
into it, but I already don't remember.
We talk about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, dude, I'm a psychopath, and I talk. Look at these fucking pieces of paper. This is where I'm at with my life. This is it.
Dude, that looks like the fucking Riddler.
Yeah, bro, riddle me this, dude. When am I gonna get my big boy penis? Yeah, yeah, dude. So 1943, Tesla dies, and then 1945, uh, DARPA comes out with something called. Actually, I'm sorry, not DARPA. My fault. The Air Force. In 1945, the Air Force came out with Project Nick, and what Project Nick was it was like designs for what they called like basically a death ray, which it came from a small localized energy source that was shooting frequency radio waves out at a target. So very similar to what Nikola Tesla was trying to do with the
Yeah.
ionosphere. And then in 1958, DARPA came out with Project Seesaw, which was
Oh, this
again
comes back to
another type
DARPA.
of death ray thing where they were trying to figure out the vibrational waves to shoot towards something.
Yeah.
Um, and then 1987, Bernard Gestuid. This guy actually developed a patent and he went out and got it patented for this one. I don't remember the name of it. It was like, it was a patented a facility. He patented a facility to harness radio waves to manipulate the ionosphere. And this was an actual thing he got out patented, but the patent name is really long. I'll throw it up on the screen because I don't really fucking remember what it was. But this guy basically went out and got the thing that Nikola Tesla was doing and got it patented, but not quite to the level that Tesla was doing it. And Arco, the gas company, was funding this guy. So
Okay.
Arco at the time owned like acres and acres of land in Alaska, and underneath the land in Alaska, they had a bunch of oil reserves. And they didn't know what to do with the oil reserves at the time. It was like basically free energy that Arco
Yeah.
was just like sitting on. Like, what are we going to do with this energy? We need to figure out a way to like make money off of this. We really need to figure out a way to make money off of this. But yeah, so Arco hired
It's
this
funny
guy
that I know
Bernard.
exactly what you're referencing to.
Yeah. So Arco hired this guy Bernard to come up with an idea on how they can harness this energy. And his idea was we could build all these little antenna that harness energy to shoot up radio waves into the ionosphere to manipulate the energy there. And we'll use all the gas to power my fucking, my things that I've created. And
Okay.
then so that was kind of the end of that when Arco was like, "Cool, thanks for that idea." And then nothing really ever happened from there until 1994. DARPA and the Air Force basically took over that area in Alaska and they built that facility. They built a facility, they called it HARP. They're saying that it was to research aerial phenomena in the
Yeah.
ionosphere. And
But
it
it's
does exactly that. It has a 140 antenna that are made to shoot radio waves into the ionosphere to manipulate it.
yeah.
1994. Yeah, so that's the real thing. And then in 1996, the Air Force released a paper. You could probably look this up, Dominic. See if you can pull this up. It's called Weather as a Force Multiplier.
Weather as the force multiplier.
As a force multiplier. And then underneath that, it says owning the weather in 2025.
Okay, weather as a force multiplier. Owning the weather in 2025.
Owning the weather in 2025. Can you see when that was published?
Yes, I
Can you
think.
share your screen with us real quick?
Yeah.
The report date is showing July 1st, 96.
Thank you, Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. July
So
1st,
96.
1996.
Weather as a force multiplier.
Yep.
Owning the weather in 2025. Look at this fucking shit. This is an actual released document from the fucking Air Force.
Yeah. In 2025, U.S. aerospace forces can own the weather by capitalizing on emerging technologies and focusing development of those technologies to war-fighting applications. Such a capability offers the warfighter tools to shape the battle space in ways never before possible. So they can make weather.
Yeah. Manipulate weather.
That's insane.
And there's actually there's one that I know of. I think other people might know of this one. It's actually pretty popular, and this I've talked about it before multiple times, not on the podcast, but to other people. This is a weather modification that the United States government has done, and this has been notated. And so what it is it's Operation Popeye. I don't know if you can pull that one up too. Operation Popeye. This happened during the Vietnam War. And Operation Popeye was a cloud seeding program. And so what we did is we would fly planes over the Vietnam War and we would do kind of like chemtrail shit where we would drop like silver dust and like other kinds of things in the weather
Yeah.
that would help to build clouds up and create moisture and basically create monsoons over the top of Vietnam. And I forget what they called it. I think they called it mud warfare, I think is what they would call it, because it would basically stop supply lines. You couldn't move. It was so much fucking rain.
Damn. 82% of the cloud seeded produced rain. Let's see if it says anything about
The test phase
um
of Project Popeye was approved by the state and defense and conducted during October 1966 in a strip of the Lao Panhandle, generally east of the what does that say, Belovans Plateau?
Bol Bolivens
Belovans
Plateau
in
in the
this
valley of the
valley of
Sekong River.
yeah.
Sekong River.
The test was conducted without consultation with Lao authorities. So they just did it. It was a test. They
Yeah.
call it a test. And to the
But
best of
with the
our
Ambassador
knowledge, remains
Sullivan's knowledge.
unknown to other than severely limited of the number of U.S. civilians or whatever, the limited number of U.S. officials.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
objective of the program is to produce sufficient rainfall along the lines of communication.
Yeah, just
Dang.
yeah, that's crazy.
You know what?
That's
That's wild because the other day I was driving and I was like, imagine we lived in a world where it was just a dome and we just like people still got sun because we can just control the weather. Like
like the giver.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
imagine if we could just do all of that.
I mean, yeah, like the Truman Show, like the Giver. I mean, that's look, that was 1966 that they said that they did that fucking cloud seeding, bro.
Yeah.
1966. And it
It was a
wasn't
while
for
ago.
another 30 years that the Air Force was finally like, hey, by the way, here's this paper that's stating that by 2025 we'll be able to manipulate it completely.
I mean,
And guess
technically
where we are?
being manipulated now in
Yeah, Dubai.
Dubai.
I was
It's
gonna bring that
called
up after this. Yeah,
weather seeding. They do it. They let you know the week of when they're gonna start storms. But yeah, they're doing it right now in Dubai, cloud seeding. Basically, their method's a little bit different, but the same concept where they basically, they forecasters at the center can absorb precipitation patterns in clouds and identify suitable clouds to seed with the aim of increasing the rate of rainfall. Once they spot the right cloud, they instruct pilots to take to the air with their specialized aircrafts loaded with hygroscopic flares on the plane's wings. Each flare contains about 1 kilogram of salt material components and can take up to 3 minutes to burn and shoot into the right cloud. After the seeding agent is introduced into the cloud, the droplets increase in size, suppressing the cloud's capacity to sustain them, thus creating raindrops.
Whoa.
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
happening literally in 2025 when the paper was
And in the
predicting.
Geneva Convention, also, you could look this up. In the Geneva Convention, it's banned. Weather modification is banned in the Geneva Convention. It's not allowed to be used in warfare and stuff like that.
Yes, the use of weather modification techniques for military or hostile purposes is banned under the convention.
But do you think that the fucking Air Force is listening?
1977, though. So
It,
11 years after that happened.
somebody asked
But
America,
still,
are we listening to that?
I
look,
mean,
we're
does
America. We
anyone
don't have to
listen to
listen to
the
anything.
Geneva Convention now? I feel
Yeah.
like.
So just
Maybe
a
about
couple examples.
flamethrowers.
Oh, okay. So HARP, weather manipulation.
Yeah.
Example we just gave you, Dubai. Example we just gave you, Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
One happening now. One happened 60 years ago. How long ago was Vietnam? 66? What was that for us?
Yeah, about 60.
60 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
So China actually they have something called the seismo electromagnetic satellite. See if you can look that one up, Dominic.
Seismo.
Yeah, seismo, Seismo, seismo electromagnetic satellite, like seismo, like seismology, like in the earth for fault lines
Yep.
and such like that.
Yeah, here it
Yeah.
is.
Okay, so you found it. So that's
Yeah,
that's
let me
it.
pull up screen.
So in 2018, China founded this. It's a satellite that's used to research seismic activity and like effects in the ionosphere.
Yeah.
So
Uh
yeah, go ahead and read it, Dominic.
yeah, so Zhengang 1 or SE CSES, China Seismo-Electromagnetic Satellite, is a Chinese research satellite for the observation of ionospheric precursors of earthquakes. The mission is conducted by the China National Space Administration with the China Earthquake Administration and China National Space Administration in cooperation with the Italian Space Agency. Um, Zheng 1 is to measure the electromagnetic situation of earthquakes above 6 magnitude in China and quakes above 7 magnitude all over the world. It is based on the CAST 2000 platform developed by the China Academy of Space Technology. The launch mass is 730 kilograms.
So yeah, so it's used to, like I just said, it studies the
Yeah.
ionosphere and correlations between changes in the ionosphere and fault lines and massive earthquakes on Earth. Massive, by the way,
Yeah,
guys.
that's
Six,
huge.
6 and 7
Six
are
and
fucking
seven.
huge.
Yeah.
We've lived through probably one through threes. One through threes our whole life, and threes we were like, whoa, this is kind of a little bit scary.
Listen, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the ones where you wake up and you're like, oh, this is happening right now.
Yeah, yeah. One time we had an earthquake at like 2 in the morning, and the house was shaking so much, my bed was literally fucking bouncing up and down. I thought a demon was underneath me. A fucking I had something up above me, and it fell down. It hit me in the head. It woke me up. My bed was jumping up and down. I thought a demon was gonna possess me. I
Yeah.
shouted out for the Lord to save my soul. A three earthquake is scary. A three earthquake is
Yeah.
scary. Imagine a fucking
Yeah.
seven.
I think it was a high three. I think it was like a 3.6 or something. But I remember our other brother and I were in the other room. We shared a room at the time, and we were both like, this is kind of cool. Like, this is insane. We didn't know what was happening
Yeah.
fully.
I
We
was
were just earthquake.
terrified out of
Yeah.
my fucking mind. But yeah, dude, earthquakes. Earthquakes are scary, guys. Earthquakes, they cause entire devastation, especially in third world countries or other
Yeah.
world countries where their infrastructure is not prepared for it. So in lieu with the Chinese satellite, they've actually found some correlation between the 2008 Sichuan earthquake, the 2011 Fukushima nuclear plant, and the January 2nd, 2020 Haiti earthquake. So between all of those three different earthquakes, this satellite discovered that there was a change, a heating in the ionosphere directly, like either above or nearby those locations. And then either like a few hours later or a day or two later, or just like a little bit of time later, massive earthquakes hit those locations.
So they were able to see all of that.
Yeah, they're able to they're correlating those things. Like they're saying
Yeah.
there's a direct correlation between the heating of the ionosphere directly above or nearby these locations and extreme like seismic activity happening below the earth.
Yeah.
And most likely what they're doing is they're shooting. So the way that I get it's hard to explain kind of, but the way that HARP works is that they're aiming those 140 antenna and they're shooting the energy and the waves up into like a layer of the atmosphere like up here.
Yeah.
And because they're hitting like this point really hard, it's causing sustained waves over here. And they found out like if I put enough pressure here,
Like a
it
little
causes
ripple
a
effect.
concentration of waves right here.
Yeah.
And so I put enough pressure here It causes a concentration of waves here a few hours later. This concentration of waves here is heating the electromagnetic pull of the Earth itself, causing the fault lines in the area to become active and give them like extreme earthquakes.
So they can create the earthquakes.
That's the theory behind it. There's no
Yeah,
actual proven thing, but that's what it's saying.
but
That's like the
that's what they're
theory.
going
Yeah,
for.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's like the theory behind it. Again, HARP is just
because
used to
that's
study.
that's
It's just used to
devastating.
study up there. It's not used to manipulate anything. It's for study, 100% for study. What we're saying is speculative, and I'm 100% tinfoil hatted up. This is just fake news.
I
Yeah,
mean, in
but that
2015,
imagine that.
I mean, in
Go ahead.
2015, the Air Force transferred the research facility to the University of Alaska Fairbanks on the 11th of 2015. I mean, they're continuing the exploration of the atmospheric area, but it's no longer in the
So,
Air Force's hands.
so in 2015, the entire HARP facility.
Entire HARP facility was transferred to the university.
I didn't see that on my research, but I believe you. So, what does that mean, though? What does that actually mean? Does that just mean
Yeah,
that?
that
I'm
like a
just
school
saying
runs it now.
in the facts of it no longer belonging
Oh,
to
so
the military
the military
defense
doesn't
team.
own it, but in all honesty, they could still just be down there doing tests.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
And the school's just like, yeah, the military just does tests here. That's just like what they do. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, we also have access to it because we're a school and it's like on our grounds, but like it's a military
it's a
testing.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 140 of those antenna. Do you think they really need 140 to do that kind of thing? But yeah, HARP, dude, it's a scary thing.
I mean, even on the new forum for the university, it does state that the instrument, a high-powered transmitter facility operating in the high frequency range, the IRI, can be used to temporarily excite a limited area of the ionosphere for scientific study.
Hey, there you go. Excited up,
Yeah,
baby. For
that's
study. Hey, let's see what
imagine
happens
if
if
you
we
like
excite this
a
area. And
war
the
has
whole reason they
changed
think it
so
works is like the
much.
butterfly effect. Like the butterfly effect is a
I'm pretty
proven
sure
thing
that's about time travel.
that
So
actually happens. No, it's not. It's not though.
Yeah,
It's
you
actually
wake up in a different reality.
yeah. It's yeah. Yeah. It's actually I don't fuck you guys, dude.
I quit.
But yeah. I
Um,
quit. That's it. Pissing in the wind's over.
nah,
Um,
I'll run it with Cranfer.
yeah. Yeah, Hennifer. Uh, but yeah, I mean, dude, think about it, dude. They, with that ability to do those kind of things, and then just recently, the insane, unprecedented winds that you guys saw in California, just
Yeah,
perfectly
that
coming
was
from a
crazy.
specific direction, and then now what we're experiencing over here on the East Coast is like prolonged cold fronts that are hitting in spurts. And if you notice as well, if you're looking at the radar map, it comes in strips. The cold fronts are coming in thin strips, and it comes along the coast, and it's like a really thin strip every single time, all the way up, and it just comes along like a little fucking
Yeah,
comb. It's weird, bro. It's a weird thing to look at. But yeah, anyways, back to it. But yeah, HARP, dude.
yeah.
With that, you guys
That's
had that. You guys had the perfect wind. We had those crazy. We're still having the crazy cold fronts. I mean, we're
yeah,
pretty deep into the springtime. Like,
yeah.
are
We're
we?
pretty
When did
normal
spring
here
start? Am
now.
I tripping? Is spring not even happening yet?
Fuck, dude.
Yesterday was
Nobody
the
knows what
first day
that.
Oh,
of
yesterday
spring.
was the first day of spring. We're pretty deep into the springtime, dude. I think I really know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah. Basically, we're almost in fall.
Yeah. Summertime is pretty much over.
Honestly, dude, winter and spring, I don't know anything about that shit. That the fucking beaver guy does all of the work for us. So you know what I'm talking about?
The beaver,
Groundhog.
dude.
No, he's a groundhog.
Oh, I'm like,
Yeah,
what? Yeah.
yeah. Like,
I'm trying to think like what kind of beaver do we know that like manipulates the weather for us,
what
dude?
kind of
Is that a new
beaver do we
religion
know?
that I haven't heard of yet?
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah. That's
goodness.
that's what I'm all about now.
Yeah.
It's a cult, but I'm into it. So
Pico
you gotta
smooth.
support me because you're my brother.
Yeah.
So my bad. The first day of spring is March 20th.
Are
So it
you
was
fucking kidding me?
Oh, come on,
3
Hennifer
days
Lopez.
late.
Do you know how many
Hennifer.
But it
mistakes that you
changes
have
every
made
year. It
today?
changes. So
Oh yeah, because of the fucking beaver.
Hennifer
But
Lopez is like the Timu version of Jamie from the Joe Rogan Experience. She gives you the right information 2 out of 10 times.
No, after you've already said the incorrect one.
Yeah, I know. But honestly, how much of what we say is incorrect?
None, dude. I'm right about
Yeah,
everything. If you're
0%.
listening to the podcast, you'll
0%.
realize that I sound crazy at first, and then we find out that I'm actually right about shit in the end.
Yeah. And then
That's
it cut to like some guy at home who's like, I listen to this podcast. They sound crazy at first, and they are. They don't know shit.
I
These two
did
guys
my.
just fucking drink and talk shit all the
In all
time.
honesty, do independent research. Don't just listen to me, dude. Who the fuck am I, bro? Pico Smooth? That's my brother. I'm Fidel Castrate.
We're just getting the
Yeah.
juices going, right?
Yeah.
Getting your
Yeah.
juices going.
That's exactly what we do.
I I
We look
try
at
to get
us.
my juices going quite often. Another thing, dude. Did you
Yeah.
hear that the CIA declassified fucking astral projection?
Yes, I did see about that.
So astral
What?
projection's a real thing.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I believe in it, bro.
No, but like, how do you feel about like astral projection?
What do you mean?
Like, I want to know your feelings on people doing this.
I hope they're not watching me, but I would like to be able to do it. I feel like astral projection is astral. I feel like
past
astral.
projection.
I feel like I feel like astral projection is like in kin with lucid dreaming. And
Okay.
so if you can learn how to lucid dream, like you might be able to might be able to astral project. Pull it up. See if you can pull it up, Dominic. Pull up CIA astral projection.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they give us step by step ways to astral project. Actually,
They probably do.
but yeah, I mean,
Um,
I think that's you don't think that's real?
no, I for sure think it is.
Yeah,
I just want to know your opinion on it.
yeah, of course. If that's the case, like they probably have a whole army of astral projecting motherfuckers, right? Like watching us.
Yeah, that's all they do. Using sound frequencies. Wait, this is fucking
No, go to
AI.
the CIA.gov. Yeah, right there.
How much do you trust Google AI? Fuck me, I'm
Not
not
very
reading all
much.
this shit.
Google AI hallucinates a lot. There we
Top
go.
secret.
Yeah.
Subject volunteered to attempt to locate a facility in the USSR comparable to the underground installation previously described.
Found it.
Found it.
Gave its exact coordinates.
I like the
What?
way that they write it. Of like, yeah,
Subject
this
described
guy was trying to go
external
in.
features, including helicopter pads, rail spur,
And some miles away, large dish antennas.
What? Subject said the antennas were used for intercepting downlink telemetry from U.S. What does that say? Satellites?
Yeah,
Scroll down, Dominic. Dude, what the fuck's top secret? Look at that top secret stamp right there.
I know. Crossed
In a
out.
double blind experiment, subject was fed the coordinates of a small Soviet occupied island in the Indian Ocean. The island did not show up on the map used by the experimenters. In fact, the latter assumed the subject was being targeted against open ocean as a test. What? Subject began drawing a large scale map of an island, following its periphery. He soon ran off his sheet of paper. What is it? Continued to another sheet and continued this process until several separate sheets had been filled in and subject had returned to his starting point. When the pages joined together, the result was an exact match and an absolutely accurate topographical map of the island. What, dude?
Okay,
Subject also
so
described exactly what he was doing on the island or where he was
so
going.
I fully understand. Like, yeah, okay, I can describe you to the building. I can tell you about what's going on. I can tell you about like the doors and everything. But to have an exact map drawing and
From up above.
topographical,
Yeah.
like that, I don't know about that one.
How did he do that?
Yeah, that's got to be something else.
Subject has made a second visit to the underground installation. This occurred at 1930 hours, 15th of July in 1973.
Price's description.
Prince? Is that what it says his name is? Oh, Price?
Price. Surprised at the number of government personnel working on a Sunday evening. 2 military officers having a conference They were Colonel R.J. Hamilton, Chief of Security, probably newly assigned, and MGen George R.
Who's
Nash.
writing this? Who's writing this top secret fucking
I know this
document?
guy sounds like he's just a fucking bro.
What?
Like,
Probably newly
so we
assigned.
sent
He
this
doesn't
guy
like that
in.
guy. I think
We
the thing
sent
is he
this
doesn't
guy
like that
in
guy.
to find a project. He found it.
He's probably newly assigned.
Yeah. This guy didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Uh, Nash was upset about a security leak and emphasized that it must be stopped. The name of the underground facility is Hayfork or Haystack. Which one is it? Other code words on papers and documents in the facility are Flytrap and Minerva.
What do you think the chances are that this piece of paper or these documents is total bullshit? And the CIA is just putting out unclassified documents to just like throw us off.
I haven't thought about that until right now, and I think it's a very good possibility because this doesn't sound like anything.
It sounds like nonsense, right? Keep
Yeah,
scrolling
this
down.
is
Let's keep reading it though. It does sound ridiculous. It sounds like a good story.
yeah.
And the whole top secret thing, I feel like, is cheesy at a certain point.
Also, who the fuck scanned this shit? It's all
Yeah.
fucking
They're like,
crooked.
just do a bad job scanning it.
It's gonna look real.
The
Found
thing is
nothing
too, like it was
close.
poorly scanned though, but look, it doesn't nothing cuts off. Did you notice that? If it was
Yeah.
actually poorly scanned, wouldn't it cut off?
Oh, for sure.
And now this is
Read
back.
this because I'm gonna piss so fucking bad.
A brief summary of new developments, findings, and some observations. We have received copies of two BRI reports containing more details of the initial Price and Sven visits to the blank location.
One of the reports states that Price was given the target coordinates by phone, that he mailed his response back to SRI, and that he took about 24 hours to begin writing his description of the area. This leaves his performance about as solid as a chunk of Swiss cheese. There was plenty.
Who the fuck is writing this?
There was
Yeah,
plenty of
that
time
actually
for him
sounds
to look at
wild.
the map, refer to aerial space photos at the library, perhaps even to confer with Swan. So basically, he had 24 hours to fucking
The SRI
research
reports.
to
Yeah,
create this map.
Yeah, but who wrote this leaves his performance as solid as a chunk of Swiss cheese?
keep scrolling down, Dom.
Also, he had 24 hours to dream an astro project over there. Just
I thought that said George Lucas, and I was like, this isn't real.
I mean, this is only 8 pages, so it's like, where's the rest of it?
Yeah, where is the rest of
True,
it? So
but
I think well hold on, what is that? There is an astonishing similarity between Price's narrative coupled with Swan's maps and the real thing. The general physical layout of blank is almost identical with Swan map Mr. 2, including the depressions of some sort, the something round. What the fuck is this? The lag pole, the road, and some of the buildings. There is an underground facility at blank consisting of floors. What the fuck does that say? Consisting,
of no floors, maybe?
is that what that says? It just cuts off.
Oh no, it looks like consisting
10?
10 floors. Yeah.
Consisting 10 floors? The first floor is unclassified, while the one below a classified record storage area. The dimensions of this latter
Yeah, it
blank.
looks like something's cut off at that
Yeah,
point.
they're definitely cutting some shit off. See, now this is a bad fax. Now the other one didn't look
This
like
one
a bad.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one was like, "What are you doing? Like, why'd you stretch it out?"
Yeah.
Same as given by Price, there are a larger number of gray filling
Like filing, and it probably
cabinets,
says cabinets right here. Yeah.
in the room. Dang, so well there you go, dude. Fucking astral projecting is real. CIA says so.
Yeah. And it's more solid than a block of Swiss cheese.
That's what I would say. We didn't really
I don't
learn
know.
how that they astral project, but they do.
I'm done.